Hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. This is another rapid fire episode where I'm going to discuss a few TNA things, a few WWE things, well, TNA, Impact Wrestling. I have this shirt, TNA since 2002. It'll always be TNA to me, but Impact Wrestling is a much better name. I'm going to talk about a couple Impact Wrestling things and then go WWE. But first, Crazy Steve has apparently left Impact Wrestling. I guess WWE has apparently made him an offer. If they have great, I'm not the biggest Crazy Steve fan. The guy's a good worker. The gimmick is what it is. It worked fine in the Decay. It worked great. Actually, him, Abyss, and Rosemary were a fantastic trio. I don't know if he's going to succeed in WWE. I don't wish that he doesn't, but I don't know if that gimmick's going to translate well. I don't know if he can use the gimmick in WWE or if Impact Wrestling owns it. I don't know. I don't know if that whole crazy gimmick will work, but you could have it without the clown face paint, and he could work in Sanity. Having NXT for a bit, he seems like a good worker and could probably even work in the cruiserweight division. I think he's under 205 pounds. He's not a very big guy, so who knows? I wish him the best. I don't know if that's going to work. I wasn't the biggest Crazy Steve fan, but good luck to him if he can succeed in WWE. Tajiri has apparently gone from WWE. No big loss. Good for him that he was able to have one last little run. I know he had a knee injury. He recovered. They didn't want to use him. Go with the youth movement. Fine. I mean, they are kind of phasing out a lot of the older guys anyway, with the exception of Styles and Cena, but those are way, way, way established names. I'm not saying Tajiri's on that same level, but Tajiri is 47. If he could still go in the ring, if he didn't want to be a coach in at the Performance Center, or if, him and WWE just agreed to mutually part ways, cool, whatever. Good for him. Kevin Dunn apparently suggested the idea of the Cena-Nikki proposal at WrestleMania. First off, Kevin Dunn's a goddamn idiot. He needs to learn how to actually focus on the in-ring action instead of the crowd shots. But Kevin Dunn, pretty much like Vince Russo, actually hates the actual wrestling. I'm actually surprised they don't, that Dunn doesn't leave and maybe start his own promotion with all the money that Vince is giving him, because Vince is kind of a senile idiot for giving Kevin Dunn millions upon millions of dollars every year for the shitty job that he does. And he does an absolutely shitty job. The guy, I'm amazed, by the way, and I'm not saying I'm the best looking guy ever, but I'm amazed that Kevin Dunn hasn't chewed through any of the mic cords, from the sound test with all his Bucky Beaver teeth. And yeah, that's a cheap shot, but I can't stand Kevin Dunn. He ruins the WWE product, the TV product, more than anybody has before. I mean, at least with Russo, he was writing stuff, but Vince was greenlighting it and greenlighting the good ideas and some tasteless ideas. Dunn is like ruining the production values of WWE when the production values are great. Hit a move, focus on that, and focus on the surrounding ring area of crowd reactions. Don't, shoot to the crowd, oh, we're already at a 2 count, or oh, the match is over by the time we cut back. Kevin Dunn, you're a goddamn idiot. And I was not a fan of the Cena-Nikki proposal. I still don't think it should have happened. If they wanted to get married, great. Great. Good for them if they want to get married. Whether I care about the relationship or not is irrelevant. But it did nothing. It did nothing for Miz and Maurice. Miz and Maurice's stock has actually dropped more since that whole match happened, which is sad because they were knocking out some of the best work of their career impersonating Cena and Nikki. I mean, you knew it was going to lead to Cena and Nikki winning, but it's just the fact that the proposal happened was ridiculous. We should have gotten Taker versus Cena. I understand why we got Taker versus Reigns in retrospect, even if I still feel Reigns didn't deserve it. If Taker made the choice to face Reigns, or if it was a Vince Taker decision, cool, whatever. The proposal thing I hated, and hashtag fire Kevin Dunn, because he's an idiot and because he's actually suggested to hold talents down. Because, it's like they don't look like actual wrestlers, like Kevin Dunn knows what a goddamn athlete would ever look like. I mean, he knows what an angry beaver would look like, because that's probably what he is. But anyway, that's just my take on that. So yeah, Crazy Steve's gone, and Tajiri's gone. Hopefully for the best. I mean, Tajiri could show up at Impact Wrestling. And then Kevin Dunn, an idiot. And the big news. Scott Steiner is back in Impact Wrestling. I know he's friends with Jeff Jarrett, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised, except, TNA since 2002. I want to make that clear. Scott Steiner was 40 years old at that point. Now, he wasn't in Impact Wrestling. He had gone to WWE and had like a 1.5 year run, and it was done. And he had a foot injury, so he couldn't really have some of the best matches. Not that him and Triple H could have had great matches even if Steiner was healthy, because that was a feud that was not going to work. I like Scott Steiner. I think Scott Steiner is a very good athlete. I think even his run in Impact Wrestling in, I believe, 06, 07, when he teamed up with Rick Steiner against Team 3D, was great. Scott Steiner almost died in Puerto Rico, fortunately was okay and has recovered. The man's going to be 55 years old in July. People can complain about WWE holding on to some stars too long. Undertaker, Big Show, Kane. I mean, Kane's pretty much done anyway. Mark Henry, and various people like that. People that are past their prime. Scott Steiner's prime was even before WWE because, sorry, I mean, even though he was knocking out some pretty decent matches, and even pretty good matches, in 06 and 07, and even some of his later work in Impact Wrestling, why in the world is he back? I don't care if he's just back for just the tapings up to Slammiversary. And he's going to be, I guess, Josh Matthews' tag partner against Borash and Joseph Park, if I remember right. And by the way, sorry, spoilers, I should have said. But the vast majority of people that have the internet have already seen the Scott Steiner's returning. And why is Josh Matthews in the ring? By the way, the only way this pays off for Scott Steiner coming back at nearly 55 years old, which is a horrible idea, because I'm afraid he's going to break because he doesn't look as muscly as he has been, because roids and HGH only work so long, and probably HGH mostly. If this ends with him putting Josh Matthews in the Steiner recliner and kayfabe injuring him, so Josh Matthews is off TV, then it'll all be worth it. Personally, I want Impact Wrestling to succeed, but it's like the Hardys went, Galloway went, Jade went, Mike and Maria Bennett went. Sandow, Aaron Rex, he went, I mean, whatever. Crazy Steve went, a whole bunch of other people, I'm sure other people have gone too. And they've replaced him with Alberto El Patron and a version of LAX that I hope succeeds, but some gimmicks I'm not really the big fan of, and a 55-year-old soon-to-be 55-year-old Scott Steiner, who may only be around for a few weeks. But it just makes the company look second-rate. And by the way, those crowd shots, Anthem's gotta throw some money at him and, say, hey, go tour some armories or something and promote this stuff around Florida. Be like the old Eddie Graham Florida territory, where you could build up something, you could draw some big crowds, because the whole thing of running in the impact zone is not good. They can't draw a crowd there. They have some good talent. Hopefully they can succeed, but I don't think Scott Steiner, even for a short-term thing, is the kind of buzz that they need. And again, hashtag fuck that Al. So anyway, that's what I gotta say. Rapid Fire Edition is done. Do you agree? Do you disagree with what I said? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter link is in the description. It's been Real Honesty with Jar Mifflin. I am Jar Mifflin, and I will see you soon.